What's up, heroes? Listen, if you're in any type of commission-based sales role, whether that's real estate or mortgage or financial services, your main mission in life is to build a big book of business. That's going to be the key to your financial success, is bringing in clients on a consistent basis. That's also one of the hardest things to do. It's very driven off of your own energy and ambition to get out there and do hard things, to prospect, to reach out to clients. It's the part of the business that everyone hates. So in this video, I want to share with you my top 5 ways to make sure you have a consistent prospecting practice so you can build a big book of business and have a full pipeline of deals full of leads that's like chasing you to give you their money. My name is Jarvis and I'm the Morning Hero. I spent 15 years in sales between technology and real estate. And over that time, I was multiple platinum award winners and rookie of the year and president's club. Along that journey, I built a set of habits and disciplines that enabled me to have extreme sales success. And so in this video, I want to share with you my top five strategies to make sure you have a healthy, consistent book of business. My number 5 way to have a consistent book of business is very simple. It's the one you're going to hate, and it is prospect daily. Now, I know you hear this all the time, but let me ask you this. Are you prospecting every single day without fail right now? And if not, here's how you do it. When I was in my journey, I had this concept that I called #grind time. Grind time is the time where you shine. It is your prospecting time. The thing about grind time is there's 2 components to it. 1, it has to be at the same time every day. And 2, it has to be heavily boundaried on your calendar, meaning nothing else gets in the way of this. And this is the most common mistake I see people make, is that every day they say they're going to make calls. They're going to make 25 cold calls today. They're going to reach out to current or past clients today. And then what happens? The barrage of everything gets in the way. Emails are coming in, they get bogged down with busy work, they get pulled away and distracted, and then they never get to doing their prospecting. So then they say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and they don't do it. And okay, I'm going to do it next day. Next thing you know, weeks go by and they never prospect because they always let other things get in the way. With grind time, you got to have this block on your calendar that nothing gets in the way. You can't schedule any other appointments on top of it. You have to deny phone calls. You have to put your phone in airplane mode. Like, grind time is the time that every day it's your sanctuary. You have to stick to it. Grind time is less about time management. It's more of a mindset. Every day you have to grind, and that's making your prospecting. That's making your calls. That's doing your outreach. That's sending out your email newsletters. Here's the thing. It has to be consistent on your calendar. For me, every day from 8 to 10 is when I win. That was my grind time. And I had this little tagline. Either it was 8 to 9 is when I grind, or 8 to 10 is when I win. But every day it was blocked on my calendar. I wouldn't let anything else get in the way. So if a client said, hey, Jarvis, can I meet with you at the property at 9 o'clock? Sorry. Unfortunately, I'm already booked at that time. How about noon? I had to be vigilant and protect that time, and nothing else got scheduled on top of it. And what I see people do too often is that they let other people dictate their calendar. Someone says, oh, let's do this at that time. Okay, sure. They jump for joy. They're just excited at the fact that somebody wants to meet with them. Sure, yes, I can talk to you at that time. Sure, I'll meet with you at that time. And then they let everything else get prioritized over their grind. And then they never get consistent with making calls. You have to have a grind time. It's a block on your calendar that's got it is just protected with your life between this time and this time every single day. That's the time I grind. That's the time I shine. That's when I make my calls. That's when I'm doing my outreach. Between this time and this time every day I grind. And I don't schedule anything else on top of that. The biggest way that I was able to be consistent with my prospecting is that I had a mindset of every day I grind, and I had a grind time block on my calendar, and nothing else got scheduled on top of it. I wasn't checking email. My phone was on airplane mode. I was sitting there with a physical phone and my call list. I would just go down the list making these calls without being distracted. My first point of how to build the big book of business, it's really simple. The more calls you make, the more outreach you do, the more money you'll make. And you have to have dedicated time on your calendar every day where you're sitting focused on making those calls. And that's your grind time. Now, number 4 Best tip I have for how to keep or how to build and keep a big book of business. And this one's going to seem a little out of left field, but it comes down to work out every day. Not just work out in the morning. And here's why. You might think, like, what does that have to do with building a book of business? It has to do with your energy level. When you're meeting with prospects, when you're talking to people on the phone, they can feel your energy. Now, if you're very low energy, if you're very soft spoken, if you're very reserved, if you're very timid, they can feel it. They can feel your confidence, and people buy from confident people. Like if you're assertive, if you're confident, if it sounds like you know what you're talking about and that you're excited about what you're talking about, that permeates over to me. Like I feel it from you. Your energy transfers. If you have very low energy, you're transferring low energy and low excitement to the person you're talking to, and they're not going to be excited about buying from you. You have to have high energy and you have to permeate that high energy, whether that's over the phone or in person. People feel your energy. And the way you activate your energy is by going and doing a good workout. There's something magical about when you're leaving the gym or when you finish doing some burpees or doing, everyone knows I do with this thing called burpees for breakfast, where I do 100 burpees every morning. But when you do something physically exhausting and you're sweating, you feel a sense of accomplishment. And so now you go into everything else the rest of the day already having a sense of accomplishment because you've already done something hard. And so you carry this confidence, this swagger, like these phone calls are going to be easy because I've already done something hard today. I've already crushed some burpees. I've already done a good workout. I've already ran 3 miles. This little thing over here is going to be easy compared to what I just finished. And so you get this swagger. And now on the phone, when you're talking to leads, when you're talking to prospects, they hear this confidence from you. They get this aura like, man, this guy's got something or this girl's got something. I need to know what they got. I want to know what they're selling. I got to hear about why they're so excited, why they have such this charisma, permeating from them. And that's all because you've activated yourself first thing in the morning. So I call it activation. Every morning, activate yourself. You activate by doing something physically exhausting. You do it by breaking a sweat, whether that's going for a run, doing a spin class, doing yoga, anything that will get you to break a sweat will activate your energy and your confidence, and you'll give you this swagger that you'll carry with you all day long. And people want to be around other people, or people want to buy from people with swagger. Okay, number 3, the third biggest tip for how to build a big book of business is to break bread. Now, breaking bread simply means meeting with people in person, preferably over a meal. Now, we're in the digital age now, and face-to-face meetings is becoming more and more of a lost art. We're doing more Zoom meetings. We're doing more email. We're doing text messaging. Nowadays, the fact that we have all this digital communication is actually doing more to distance us. It's counterintuitive. It's a bit ironic that these tools and devices and solutions that are built to bring us together and keep us connected are actually making us more distant, because now we're more reliant on quick, fast, faceless communication. The people who can prioritize getting in front of their prospects, getting in front of their partners, and actually seeing them face to face will have an edge. They have priority. And but you know why? It's because you build a relationship. Relationships are built face to face. And when I say face to face, I don't mean Zoom. I mean actually meeting with them in person, because then you can do stuff like small talk, like, oh, how's the kids? Oh, I see pictures on your desk, or I see you have a picture in your wallet. Tell me about that. What'd you guys do last weekend? The art of small talk is where relationships are built. The deeper your relationship, the deeper the allegiance that person has to you. So now I don't care if your price is higher. I don't care if your service isn't quite as good. They have a personal connection with you, and they will buy because of the connection. They won't buy your service. They'll buy you. And the way you get that connection is through face-to-face interaction. I used to have a strategy where I had to have 2 to 3 breaking bread appointments per week. The reason I call it breaking bread is because I would do these over a meal. So whether that's meeting with clients at lunch or over dinner. I liked dinner because we can have wine. There's nothing that can replace like being vulnerable with someone over a glass of wine or a cocktail, because then you let your hair down, you get to know them a little deeper. At the moment you get a deep connection with someone, again, at that point, they have an allegiance to you. They have a loyalty to you. They feel bad for going with your competition because they feel like you have a friendship at that point. So I had to go break bread with people 2 to 3 times a week. And that's how I built deep personal connections. And the moment that connection was built, I had them. They were my client. I didn't care what my price was or what my service had. They were my client. I hope you're getting some value from this. If you're finding these to be good tips, go ahead and leave a comment below or hit the like or subscribe button. Let me know, give me some feedback, and let me know if this is giving you any value. My number 2 biggest tip for building a big book of business and with leads that are just like rushing to give you their money was thank you cards. No one is sending physical mail anymore. They're relying too heavily on email and all these digital means of communication. So you're heavily relying on just emailing people. You're just like everyone else. You're just like the other 100 people trying to get a hold of your lead or your prospect. How do you differentiate yourself? I used to send physical mail, like actual mailers, like with a postcard and a stamp and an envelope. Every day I would go into the office and I would make all my calls. After I finished making all my calls, I would pull out envelopes and letters and I would actually write their name and address on an envelope and stick one of my mailers in this envelope lick a stamp and actually put the stamp on it and go drop it off in the mail. Every day after I made calls, I sent everyone that I called a thank you card. Not only did they get the first touch from me, which was the call, the one that they appreciated most was they got the card in the mail because nobody's doing that. And so they get the card. 2 things happens. One, it leaves a physical imprint. You're like, oh, this was special. This is out of the ordinary. No one else is doing this. And so they get the thank you card, handwritten thank you card. It left that instant imprint right then and there. But here's number 2. More often than not, they just sit the card on their desk or they sit it on the counter or they'll just put it somewhere and it stays there. And then every time they see that card, it leaves a lasting impression. There's this residual impact of something physical that sits somewhere. Every time they see it, it's the constant reminder. They see my name. Every time they look down, they see my name and it's leaving an imprint, a subconscious imprint that over time, my name is top of mind. Because they've got this physical thing sitting somewhere that they always see. There's kind of a method to the madness, sitting something physical in the mailer that stands out, that makes them want to just sit it and it sits right there in front of them. It's a constant reminder of who you are, what you do, and how you could help them. And it leaves this subconscious impression that over time they can't shake. Sending thank you cards, handwritten, again, handwritten. You want to differentiate yourself. No one is doing this. No one is doing handwritten notes. But you will be, and you're going to set yourself apart. Hope you enjoyed that one. Down to number 1. Number 1, and you're not going to like this one, but guaranteed it's going to be probably the biggest thing that will contribute to your success and your ability to build a big book of business that's just throwing money at you. Number 1 is to wake up early. Jarvis, what do you mean? Of course, I'm the morning hero. Of course I'm going to slap you in the face with this. You want to beat your competition? You got to be up before your competition. If you're waking up at 7 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, you're already missing the boat. Your competition's already going after the leads. They're already got their game plan together. They've already got momentum. You want to beat them, you got to be up before them. I recommend you're up at 5 a.m. This was by far the thing that gave me the edge because now you're up before the chaos. If you're getting up around 7, your inbox is already exploding with all the things that need your attention that day. Transaction details and escrow documents and reports that you got to send to clients and market reports. Your inbox is already exploding. Your text messages are already exploding. Everything is already pulling for your attention at 7 in the morning. So when do you have a chance to get ahead? When do you have a chance to put your game plan together? When do you have a chance to put your prospect list together? When do you have a chance to organize your thoughts and your strategies? You don't. And so you get stuck in this rut of waking up into the chaos and you just service the chaos all day long until you go to sleep. And then you wake up into the chaos again and you just service the chaos all day long. And you stay stagnant because you're never getting ahead. You get ahead between the hours of 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. After 7 a.m., you go into maintenance mode and you're just coasting, just keeping your head barely afloat. You want to get ahead, you got to get up ahead. That's at 5 in the morning. This is the first thing I do when I work with clients. The first thing we do is we build a discipline of waking up in the morning and getting a head start. because that's where you're going to get all your new strategies, your new ideas, your ways of getting in front of your prospects and your leads. You're going to get a head start over everyone else. That's where you're going to get your edge and your advantage, is it between 5 and 7 in the morning. So I know this is the hardest part, and that's why I created this 5-day challenge. There should be a link below. It's called the Rise and Grind Challenge. Within 5 days, I can have you waking up by 5 a.m. with no alarm clock, so that you can have the added head start that you need to build a massive book of business that's throwing money at you. So go ahead and click below. There's a link for you to join the 5-day, 5 a.m. challenge if you think you're up for it. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. Down below, leave a comment. Tell me, what was your favorite tip of how to build a wildly successful business that's just throwing money at you? All right, everyone, this is Jarvis. I'll see you in the next video.